fresh material. So when are you releasing fresh material? Um, if you have to manually update your membership site all the time, you are very swiftly going to realize that you as the business owner cannot do that. And so there is danger to tying yourself to too much fresh material in a membership site, particularly when it's new and young, and that time should be spent on marketing. So you really do have to be wary of fresh material. Just make note on this. If you are committing to members that you're going to do a live webinar at 6 o'clock every Wednesday, every now and again, one of your friends is going to have a wedding, or one of your children is going to have a soccer game, or maybe you are going to get the flu, and you're going to so far feel, you're going to be so distantly far from feeling like running a webinar on one given Wednesday that you're going to feel pretty darn well fed up. So be wary of what you commit to for fresh content regimens. Just think through very thoroughly who's going to handle content delivery and how is that going to get done. Is this going to be building something that I'm going to come to resent that's going to interrupt my life, or am I going to build something that someone else can eventually manage and I can sell for real value? Am I constructing an actual business that can sell for real value, or sort of a small hamster wheel that I'll have to spin myself? So be very careful with fresh material, and the same goes for coaching and consulting. If it is you who's actually doing the coaching and consulting, you are potentially in a grand degree of trouble if you ever want to be building something scalable or saleable. If your goal is to make 20, 40, 60 grand a month, then that's perfectly fine. And if you don't ever want to sell, that's also perfectly fine. But if you do want a saleable asset, you want to take that 60 grand a month business and sell it for $500,000 at some point, you would definitely not be the one manually doing the coaching and consulting. So be quite wary of that. And then how are you selling it? Are you selling it flat, or are you selling it with premiums? Now let me articulate what the difference is between flat and premiums. So a flat sale is something that is sold just in and of itself. Here's the price. Hi, it's $27 a month. You can pay $27 now, and then you'll pay your next $27 in 30 days. That's a flat sale. A premium is when you're giving away something for free on the front end of the membership. So Sports Illustrated, which is basically a billion-dollar company, billion-dollar entity, we should say, Sports Illustrated sells football-shaped phones, and they sell sports memorabilia hats, and they sell plaques and all kinds of wacky things that come along with a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month free trial of Sports Illustrated. So they're very openly telling people, hey, we're going to give you this as a gift to try Sports Illustrated. They're being frank about it, but they're using premiums to get people through the front door. You get to make the call of which way you want to sell it. Many information marketing spaces will have a very difficult time selling flat continuity. Software can do it quite easily. Many information marketers will have a very difficult time selling flat continuity, and premiums may sort of be a better bet for many information marketers out there who are selling e-learning or curricula or things along those lines, but that's just something to bear in mind. You'll have to think about that for yourself. The 3 errors that I would admonish you to avoid are building anything without customer ideas or knowing what your customers' preferences or needs are. If you are constructing a membership site and you don't know exactly what would serve your audience best, you are doing yourself and themselves a disservice. You're spending a lot of time building something people don't actually want. The first goal is to build something people really want. When you put together this membership site, it should make a vast number of your existing buyers, it should make their mouth water. It should be tremendously valuable. It should be constructed in a very particular way so as to deliver tremendous value to them. And if you don't build it by polling them, by calling your customers, by deeply knowing who they are and what it is that they care most about, then you're likely going to build something that people don't actually want. Next up, personality dependent. In terms of big mistakes, folks who construct membership sites and make them entirely based around their personality have a very hard time later on moving themselves out of there and putting somebody else in their shoes, because the whole thing is built off their star power. There's nothing horribly wrong with that, and if you don't want to sell your business, there's nothing horribly wrong with that. But if you eventually want to cash out and leave whatever this business is that you're constructing and travel the world, or not have to work for large swaths of time because you can have other people run the show entirely, have it managed by somebody else, then leaning away from star power as opposed to into star power is actually a better move. And it's relatively common for folks to regret how much of their own personality is bleeded into the business when they come to realize that they'd love to have someone else manage it, or they'd love to eventually sell it, but then they know they can't. That's a doggone shame. And then lastly, unjustified live content. Another very common error for constructing membership sites. If you do not have a huge audience, and even if you do, if the audience doesn't really depend on mutual engagement with you or with other members in order to get value out of the membership site, but you've committed yourself to doing a ton of live Wednesday webinars and live Q&As on Fridays and constantly updated audio interviews that you post up every Monday and Wednesday, if you committed to these live elements, it's not that you shouldn't, you should commit very consciously to very, very particular things. But if you commit to if you commit overboard to unwarranted live elements that don't really add value to the customer, but definitely add tremendous workload to you and workload to your business, then you're tying yourself up in a spot where it's almost not even worth having a membership site, particularly when there's so few people in there that it's almost resent-worthy that you're putting in this weekly effort in the first place. So that's another potential relatively common mistake that folks make when they construct membership sites. So hopefully this has given you a few ideas around the do's and don'ts of building your own subscription-based sort of learning model or membership-based recurring model for whatever your business happens to be. Make sure you stay tuned in for the next CLV Boost tutorial.